Yes. Welcome back, man. Live in the flesh, and I'm living my best. The Souljah strong way. Welcome to week 3, man, with the Souljah. You know what it is, man. Glad to have everybody tuned in. Hey, we got another funky, fresh show for y'all. You know what it is, for my warriors, for my caregivers, and for those that's living and battling with sickle cell. Let's go. Hey, as you can see, I'm one deep today. Sending prayers to my co-host, the Souljah strong way, man. Listen, Souljah strong Pat. Stay strong, King. You look a little under the weather, so y'all keep him uplifted. Keep him uplifted. Keep him strengthened. Send him energy. And he'll be back next week. Know that. Listen, sickle cell ain't no game. If you know, you know. So for everybody that's living and battling, these are the keys and the tools that we're trying to give to help you live well with sickle cell. So this week, on the Souljah strong way, we talking about consistency. Consistency. Consistency is the key. Now, listen to this, man. I got a story that I want to tell y'all. Just imagine. I'm going to take you through a little timeline and give you a little insight on what it's like. So, follow me. Check me out. Just imagine, if you're a caregiver and you're older, just imagine yourself caring for a person who has sickle cell. But, put yourself in my shoes right now. So, listen. Born and raised in the Midwest, one of very few young black men who has sickle cell in Des Moines, Iowa, at Blank Children's Hospital. Just know. So I want to highlight that. And when you precious pediatric, the care is great. They take care of you. Whatever you need, you good. When the nurse bell calls, they there within seconds. So it's love. It's beautiful. They don't want to hear the kids crying. They don't want to see the kids in pain. They don't want to see us in agony. And at 6 years old, imagine at 6 years old having to have Demerol. So this is where it starts. Demerol pumped through an IV for chronic pain at 6 years old, and then to go home with prescribed promethazine and codeine for pain. This is the introduction. My first surgery. Imagine having your first surgery at 8 years old. Your appendix being taken out. Okay? Blood transfusions at a young age. Always in pain. Trying to keep up with your friends and sports and activities and functions. And, just imagine always being in pain. And then teenage years hit, and you hit puberty. Now, 15 years old, you develop priapism. Now, priapism is a prolonged erection in the penis with no sexual arousal. Very, very painful. And imagine it coming and going. And at 15 years old, you're removed from pediatrics. I know some people that's in pediatrics that's 20, 21, But imagine at 15 years old being told that, listen, I don't think that we can be able to care for you like the adult side will be able to care for you. You need to see an adult urologist for the things that you're going through at 15 years of age. Just imagine these things. So this is where it turns for the worse at 15 through 18 years of age. And not only with chronic pain in your skeleton, but also a painful erection that's coming and going that you don't have no control of. So just imagine, all right? 18 and ambitious, and then you leaving from your parents' care and moving to a whole nother state, being in a whole nother city to take care of yourself with genotype SS sickle cell now. All right, just imagine this. So you a young man, you a young woman, and you living with sickle cell. And the number one thing that you're consistent on is going to the hospital and being sick and having pain crisis. Okay? Even the medicine prescribed to take home ain't working for you. So imagine these things. Consistency. Remember, we're talking about consistency. So, from 21 to 25, surgeries, countless surgeries, ports being accessed into your body, central lines. You can't really get into a craft and get into a profession because you're always sick. The consistency of being sick is the biggest problem. Imagine this. Imagine a whole life full of chronic pain, blood transfusions, Western medicine. That was the biggest thing in my youthfulness and being sick. Western medicine is practiced from doctors, nurses, and specialists considering drugs, radiation, and surgeries. So these are the things that's harmful for the body, on a consistent basis. If you think about it, the lifespan for sickle cell patients is from 43 to 48. And they understand that because the treatment given to the body from pediatrics all the way to the ages of 40, it's extensive and it's harsh. Radiation and surgeries and harsh narcotics and, all these different type of testings. The body develops a vascular necrosis. The bones start to deteriorate. The body just starts to wither. You wonder why you like 25 and 30 feeling 50. It's because of the type of treatment that was consistent. Now, one thing that I understood when I was a youth, from my youth all the way into my 20s, 20, 21, 25, was that I didn't really have no guidance, And without guidance, and without a team, and without seeing what other people are doing, you kind of just get stuck with whatever the doctor says. You take that, Whatever the doctor says that you should do, you do that. Whatever the doctor suggests, that's what you go with. When I was a youth, when I was a teen, when I was a young adult, I never been to any sickle cell camps. Being from Des Moines, Iowa, I never been to any sickle cell camps. I rarely got to see, I never seen anybody that looked like me with sickle cell that battled the same issues I had. I never got to talk with anybody when I was young who had sickle cell that, can relate, that was in the hospital going through the same things I was going through, until I got older and moved out to Atlanta. Then I start seeing that there's other people living with this illness, and we all getting the same type of care, and we all always sick in the hospital, and they can never wrap their minds around it. So when you young and you precious pediatric, you get great care. They want to make sure you well. They want to make sure you're doing well and stay out of the hospital. But when you're adult, they always question why you're in the hospital. So you got to take it upon yourself to be consistent and staying out of the hospital. And what does that require, Brother Prophet? Well, listen, it requires consistency and self-discipline. How do you do that? Well, you're prescribed medication every 4 weeks, and you take your medication, which is narcotics, more than likely if you have sickle cell, because we battle with chronic pain, and you take that on a consistent basis. When you feel pain, you take that. Okay? So translate that. When you get sick, what do? You run to the hospital. You in a pain crisis. You get the regular body oil change, what we call it. Tune-up, blood transfusion, hydration therapy, and medicine, harsh medicine pushed through your body, opioids, narcotics. So you have to transfer that type of treatment into your own type of treatment and be your own doctor. That's the whole motivation of this podcast. Different ways you can live well with sickle cell instead of doing Western medicine, instead of doing the hospital, instead of always being sick. There are ways to live well with sickle cell, and I'm going to help you out. Listen. So instead of always running to the hospital, what you can do to be consistent in your care and in your well-being is drink more alkaline water every day. You need it. It's essential. Not essential, but it's essential for you. Alkaline water. All right? That's the first thing. That's the first step. You got to put down the juices. You got to put down the pop and the soda and you got to put down all of that. It's a lot of stuff you're going to have to cut out. All that processed and all that sugar, you're going to have to cut a lot of that out of your diet, because those are the things that's making you sick. When you think about your body, you got to think about bloodline. Once these American diet foods start to rush into your body, which is get into your bloodstream, that's how your cells start to sickle. You gotta hydrate the cells because your cells are already in a deficient mode. They're deficient, they're deprived of oxygen. They don't have their full roundness. They're not moving how they're supposed to move in the blood vessels. So you gotta equip your body with oxygen, hydration. The first step is alkaline water. The second step is processed foods, dropping all those little Debbies and candies and all of that stuff that you like to eat, that we love to eat. I'm still a victim of it, but trust me, consistency on doing the right thing is what's gonna keep you from being in the hospital all the time and having so many pain crises. You can control this, but it takes a consistent mindset and a self-discipline on your diet, on your journey, on an everyday basis. You gotta watch what you eat. That's the number one thing. That was my biggest problem. I love junk food. I love Little Debbie's. I love pastries, donuts, and cookies, and candy, and all that BS, the stuff that's not good for you. The stuff that when you lay down that night and your body processes it, it causes you to have pain. Why you think every night we have pain as sickle cell soldiers? Because of what we ate throughout the day, the body breaking it down. Now when it digests, it's not breaking down into nutrients, it's breaking down into sugars and fats and stuff that's depriving the body of oxygen. That's why you have a pain crisis. So you have to be consistent in choosing nutrition over taste, over, ooh, I want that, that sounds good. You can have a couple days where you get what you want, but on a consistent basis, you have to eat clean. Eat clean. You have to find different herbs and use them for your medicines. We're going to talk about that on the upcoming episodes about immune herbs. We're going to also talk about, using different ways to have pain management, which is, for me, cannabis over prescriptions. We're going to talk about the plant and different ways to use it instead of just smoking all the time. There's plenty of ways to use the plant and get the medicinal that you need from it. CBD is very important in your intake when you're talking about chronic pain. There's plenty of ways that you can, utilize natural to get medicinal. We're not taught that though. You have to do things that's going to equip you. Find books to read them. The Lost Book of Herbal Remedies. Find that. It's on Amazon. All right? There's plenty of books. A Doctor Inside a Patient's Body. Dr. Simone, Sickle Cell Community. Find that book. Different ways to live well with sickle cell. And listen, one thing about it, if you don't stay on it and you're not consistent in your walk and in your own care, you're going to be consistent in being in the doctor's grips, in the hospital's grips, and doing what they think you need. And what I mean by that is when I say, if you go to the hospital and they say, you get a regular checkup at your doctor's office and they say, hey, your hemoglobin's low, we think you should get a blood transfusion. And you just say, oh, hey, okay, yeah, I need a blood transfusion. You're going to forever be stuck in that mindset. You have to understand that, nah, I don't need no blood transfusion. Okay, you don't have to tell them that, but listen, all right, I'm going to go home and I'm going to blend up me a beet smoothie. I'm going to get some beets in me. I'm going to get some liquid chlorophyll in me. Things that I know that's going to boost up my hemoglobin, boost up my blood levels. You got to take charge of that. Because the doctors, they going to do what's best for them. You have to do what's best for you as a patient. So you have to become your own doctor. And that takes consistency. Them doctors is in them lab coats every day. Prescribing medications every day. Seeing patients every day. What you think you got to do for yourself every day? You got to be on top of your health. And if not, you're going to stay sick. And that's what I know. But there is hope. You can live well with sickle cell. And I come to let you know that. That's the good news. So stay consistent. You need to do things that's going to boost your immune system. And what does that require? Well, that requires finding things that's natural for the immune system and boosting immunity, which is a lot of vitamin C. Get you some vitamin A. Get you some vitamin E. Get out and get you some vitamin D. You need nutrients and vitamins inside. You need multivitamins. Find stuff with no gelatin. Because gelatin is pork, lard. You don't want that. You want all natural things inside the body. Okay? Women, you want to get on a multivitamin every single day. Find you things like elderberries. Find them in its natural form. You know, you don't always have to have gummies and stuff that taste good. Blend you up a smoothie. Get you some elderberries. Elderberry hoe, find them. Get you some sea moss. Get you some minerals in it, 90 plus minerals. You need that for the body. The body's depleted of that. You need sea moss every day as a sickle cell patient. Find it and utilize it every day. Benefits over taste, family. All right? You got to know that. It's benefits over taste. Find you some moringa. Moringa. That's the plant. That's the mother of plants. Find it. Utilize it every day. Milk thistle help with jaundice and the yellowing of the eyes. And jaundice is what we're born with. It's in our body. It's in our bloodstream. You know? The bilirubin is low in our blood, causing jaundice. So these are things that you need to find. There's natural herbs for everything. Find the book, you know, and we'll be back. And thank you so much for joining. Tune in. But always remember, consistency is the key. Consistency is the key. Hey, I'm in your corner. I got you for a lifetime. Hey, be back right here next Wednesday. The Souljah Strong Way. It's love. Yo, Rasta, heal up, King. Blessings. Consistency. The Souljah Strong Way. It's the Souljah Strong Way. The Souljah Strong Way. It's the Souljah Strong Way. Every Wednesday. Warrior Wednesday. Living well with sickle cell. It's the Souljah Strong Way. Yeah, Souljah